Alright, so this is the final part of the series, guys, so let's jump straight in. If you haven't seen the first 2 series, guys, click on the link up here and I'll put a link to part 1 and part 2 there. Next up, we have my little GT12 race car. I mean, I don't use this thing very often, and to be honest, guys, I don't really know much about it. My buddy Winnie sort of put it together, but we're running a, I don't know, some super duper motor. Orion 13.5 turn motor, Hobby Wing XR10 ESC, Sanwa radio, KO servo, and that is pretty much all I can say. It's a Schumacher Atom carbon fibre version, by the way. Body shell is a Fat Bodies. Here we have my HPI Wheelie King. Now guys, this thing, I really love it. It's a little bit different to all my other RC cars. You can't really just hack it around because it is top heavy, it does fall over. It's not really for taking out and giving massive beatings. I built it more to be a little bit more realistic and something that I can use indoors in the winter. So starting from the top, we've got a Proline C10 body shell on here. Yeah, it's seen better days. And this thing, I've done so much to it, it's far from stock. So I've put Crawler King suspension on it just to make it a little bit longer. Brushless Motor and Esc, so the motor is a LRP. God knows on the specs, guys, it come out of a LRP... I can't even remember, temp scale buggy. ESC wise, it's an eBay special and it's a T-Sky Enjoy Yourself 120 amp. So we've got 4-wheel steering on this thing and I've put this on this Spectrum DX5C radio so I can do the rear steer off this toggle switch here. I've got prop shafts in here that come out of a Traxxas, I think an E-Revo actually, I think these come out of the original one. And then I've put a load of hot glue around here just to stop the diff case from deflecting because it was getting through quite a lot of diffs. And ever since I've done this, it's been more reliable. And I've done the same on the hub carriers. These used to break all the time. So I caked the whole thing in hot glue and I've had 0 issues since then. Even on here, guys, I don't know, it hasn't really done much, but I put a bit of hot glue in here just to try and stiffen it up a little bit to get some of that flop out of there. At the moment, I've just got some crawler wheels and tyres on here because I don't know, for jumping and stuff, they actually seem pretty good. Keep saying to me in the comments, when are you going to get the armour? When are you going to get the armour? Well, I'm waiting. They're not in the UK yet. The minute we can get hold of them in the UK, I'm going to be on the case and I'm probably going to get a crate on. Next up, we have my all-time favourite RC cars. Now, guys, if I could only keep one RC cars, it would have to be the Traxxas X Max. I love the size of it, I love the speed, I love the durability, I just love the way it goes over rough terrain. You can do stunts with these things. It's just everything about them I love. They're easy to work on, spare parts are relatively cheap, and it's just, I haven't really got much bad to say about these things. I mean, I did change out the ESCs because they were, on the early ones, a bit of an issue. They were burning out. I'm not sure if they are now. So both of these X-Maxes, they're almost identical spec. The only difference being is the motor. And I'm going to show you on this one, because this one here's a little bit grubby. This one here's going to be a little bit nicer on the eye. Only difference is this one has got the stock motor. This one here, we're running the 1600 kV motor, which is out of a 6S X-Maxx. The reason being more RPM, a little bit more power, but you've got to be a little bit careful because they do tend to run a little bit hotter and you can melt them. I have melted a couple of these so far. So, starting off at the front, completely stock with the exception of Sen hinge pins. So I've got the Sen hinge pins in there and I've got them on the front. I've only got them in the lower here because at the top they used to bind and I didn't really find the need to put them anywhere else because it never really pops out of there. I've only really had these pop out on the front. On the rear, I've put them here, here and here. So moving along, I've got the Traxxas upgraded servo in here. I can't remember the part number, guys, but it's the upgraded X-maxx one. So we've got the Hobby Wing Max 6 Esc. A lot of people tend to put the Max 5 in there, but for me, this one's perfect. It does what it's supposed to do. It fits in the stock location perfectly. It does sometimes get a little bit hot on hot days, so for that, a Max 5 could be an advantage. But I'm a hard basher. I want the thing to be as lightweight as possible. I like the way this thing just sort of fits in there in its stock location. So coming into the gears, I think I'm running a GDS or GWS, I can't remember, but it's a steel spur and a steel pinion because the stock spur and pinion, they do have a habit of exploding. And then coming onto the rear, we're running RPM rear hubs. Now, I've tried RPM arms and they were useless. They just broke. So you're much better off just keep the stock arms and soak them in WD-40, make them a little bit more flexible, and just run these 10 hinge pin braces and the RPM hubs, and that's going to make it almost indestructible. Tyre wise, I prefer the stock tyres over everything else because they're lightweight, they're supple, and yeah, I don't mind them ballooning, to be honest. It makes it easier to do stunts. In case you're wondering what's going on here, this is a little bit of a weak spot on the X-maxes, so I'll put a bit of hot glue on there just to try and beef it up a little bit around that area. I've not really tested it at all yet, so we will see how that holds up now. Wheelie bar wise, I don't like wheelie bars. I don't run a wheelie bar on any of my RC cars. I've only got it on this one because this one's going to be a water crossing X-maxx, and I don't want the thing to wheelie and fall backwards into the water, so that's the only reason I've left it on there. By the way guys, I do run the Russian indestructible body on the X-maxx most of the time. I'll just put the stock body on there to make it look better when it's sitting up on the shelf. So this here is my Tamiya Manta Ray, and it's my first ever hobby grade RC car that got me into the hobby. Oh God, I was around about 10 years old. I really desperately wanted one of these, and it literally took me 2 years of saving up all my pocket money, doing jobs around the house and stuff to save up for this thing. And guys, when I got this thing, I was over the moon. I've never been so happy. And I've had a lot of fun with this thing. I've probably had more fun with this than any other RC cars. I've had it for so many years. I used to bash it, I used to race it, work on it, wrench on it. I used to do everything on this thing myself. And, well, yeah, it's a bit of a heap now. It doesn't work anymore. I am planning to rebuild this and get it working again using as many of the original parts that I have. But, modification-wise, we've got a thicker shaft here, carbon fibre shock towers, and I think that's pretty much it. God knows what the body shell is, but you can still get these on eBay, actually. So that leads me to my other Manta Ray, and that is this one here. It's a re-release, and I kind of built it just out of a little bit of nostalgia. This thing is bog standard. It's more of a shelf queen. I may take it racing once or twice just for a bit of fun, but I'm not going to take it out and bash it and destroy it. It's kind of like a shelf queen just to bring back some memories. Because when I first got this, guys, I remember just playing with the suspension. I was like, wow, it was just so cool. You know, I always had Nikos before, and the toy grade RCs, I had a couple of them. And when I got this, it was just something else. I mean, the speed of it, I mean, by today's standard, it's nothing. I mean, if you compare that to this, it's nothing now. But for its time, if you compare this to like some of the toy grade stuff that's out there, like what I had before, I mean, the thing was insane. I just really didn't realise that you could get anything of this sort of goodness out there. I've got a handful of these little mini crawlers here. They're only small, look, if you compare that to the size of my hand. So here we have the FTX Outback. And this, guys, I would say is awesome. It's got 4-wheel steering. I mean, for the winter, playing around indoors, you know, building like a little obstacle course in your living room. These things are absolutely brilliant. I'd recommend this to anyone. This thing here, the Outback, I mean, it looks fairly cool, but it's not as good. It's kind of geared a little bit too high. It's a lot faster, and it doesn't get over the obstacles as well. So if you're looking for a little crawler, definitely I would go for the FTX Outback. This thing here, maybe not. I'd go for this one. Next up, we got my burnout car, and I've only just done the build on this, guys, and there's a video. If you just go back a few videos, you'll see this thing in action. And it's pretty much, just to sum it up, it started life as a Maverick Strada or a HSP something or other. It's exactly the same, maybe it's one of them, but they're identical. So I put a 1/8 scale armour motor in here, different gearing, I made it 2-wheel drive, put a disc brake on the front, and that's pretty much it, guys. So watch the video for that if you want to see more. Next up, I've got these couple of WL Toys 959 buggies. This one here's the B version with a bigger motor. And I was a bit sceptical at first, you know, I'm a bit beyond these sort of cheapy stuff. But I thought I'd give one a go, give it a little review. And guys, I'm actually pretty impressed. If you watch the video, go back a couple of videos and have a little look, you'll see me review these. And for the money, you can't really go wrong. So if you've got a young child, or even yourself, you want to get into the world of RC, and you don't want to spend much money, these things would be perfect. And for the winter as well, indoors, I've got a couple of jumps set up next door in the workshop. So it is definitely going to come out more in the winter.
Oh man, that's
So I've got another one here. I've still got to unbox this one. I'm going to do a little review. And this one's the monster truck version. Same platform, just bigger wheels with different body, I think. But we're going to unbox this one soon and take a look. Also, I got this little military GP type thing. I've done a review on this before. And that's going to be in one of the videos down below too. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Got some of these little cheapo things when a local sort of electrical shop shut down, Maplins. They were selling all these things off cheap. So I bought a few of these just because, I don't know, there might be some sort of fun videos that we can make later on in the future. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite RC car out of this lot. Which one do you want to see me take out more? And also, are there any other RC cars out there that you want me to get? Now, obviously, I can't get them all. There's hundreds out there. But if I see the same car coming up over and over and over again, and people keep recommending the same car, I'll look into it, I'll have a look. If it's something for me, I might well get it.
Buried!
What happened, Stephen?
I fell over, those cars got him!
I've been attacked!
Revenge!
I can't get out!
The crunch of body shells.
I'm alive! If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up.
Subscribe.
Smash the bell button so notified. Also, subscribe to 8sd's channel.
It's silly.
Bye!